For a fleeting moment, it looked like the man once called Putin's chief was preparing for a mission of his own, heading straight for his boss's doorstep. Several chaotic hours later, Yevgeny Prigozhin and his Wagner mercenaries are reportedly exiled in Russian-friendly territory, neighboring Belarus, and Putin is clinging to power over his nuclear-armed nation. Now, both men are breaking their silence. Russian President Putin making his first public appearance, thanking the Russian people and assuring them that they are safe. He also thanked the mercenaries in a tweet, offering them a contract to keep fighting for Russia or to go home through Belarus. Prigozhin was much more direct, saying in an audio-only message that his revolt was in reaction to the injustice of a Russian attack that killed 30 of his troops. And he said he took the deal to move to Belarus in order to save the Wagner Group. But that begs the question, what if he didn't? Is the U.S. ready for change in Russian leadership? And what does this mean for U.S. troops stationed around the globe? Let's start tonight with NewsNation's Kelly Meyer in Washington. Kelly, is the Biden administration really changing its approach to Russian relations now?
Well, Elizabeth, President Biden says it's too early to tell what is going to happen next and what effect this may have on the war in Ukraine. President Biden says he is in constant communication with Ukrainian President Zelensky. And although the situation in Russia still remains uncertain, he says what's not changing is U.S. support for Ukraine.
The ultimate outcome of all this remains to be seen.
Today, President Biden speaking for the first time since the rebellion in Russia. Russian President Vladimir Putin's mercenary group staging a 36-hour armed mutiny, a direct challenge to Putin's leadership. Biden making clear the U.S. had no part in the uprising.
We made clear that we were not involved. We had nothing to do with it. This was part of a struggle within the Russian system.
In a new address, Putin blamed Russia's enemies and said they miscalculated. He thanked the nation for unity. Questions today over just how unified the Russian military is and who's in charge. The country's defense minister in a helicopter and meeting with officers, projecting a sense of order after the Wagner Group tried to oust him.
There's absolutely no indication that there's been any changes that we've seen in the chain of command for the Russian military forces.
The future of the war in Ukraine uncertain, as the Wagner Group forces are pulled from the battlefield.
Mr. President.
President Biden speaking to Ukraine's president, promising support for the country will remain strong.
I told them that no matter what happened in Russia, let me say it again, no matter what happened in Russia, we, the United States, would continue to support Ukraine's defense and its sovereignty and its territorial integrity.
Comes next, President Biden says he will make sure the U.S. and allies are on the same page, adding, quote, it's important that we stay completely coordinated.
Yeah, well, Kelly, what about all the Wagner forces, all those men?
Well, like you said earlier, Putin said that they could sign a contract with the Defense Ministry of Defense or go to Belarus or return to family and friends. Either way, they are not going to be continuing to fight in Ukraine. It's unclear how that changes the battlefield in this ongoing war. But as you heard President Biden say there, the U.S. remains supporting Ukraine as well as our allies. Continuing that support as well.
All right.
Elizabeth.
Kelly Meyer for us in Washington. Thank you so much.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.